მოგესალმებით. წარმოგიდგენთ ვიზასა და Forbes Georgias ერთობლივ პროექტს, პოდკასტების სერიის ფორმატში, სადაც მოწვეულ სტუმრებთან ერთად განვიხილავთ საქართველოს ინოვაციების ეკოსისტემას. აღნიშნული პროექტი ღია დისკუსიების პლატფორმის შესაქმნელად კიდევ ერთი წინგადადგმული ნაბიჯია, რომელიც მოგცემს შესანიშნავ შესაძლებლობას მოწვეულ სტუმრებთან, ექსპერტებთან, ვიზასა და მის პარტნიორებთან ერთად შევაფასოთ და ვიმსჯელოთ ინოვაციების ტენდენციებზე, კულტურასა და მის აქტუალობაზე. დღევანდელ ეპიზოდს მე გიორგი არონია გავუძღვები. აქვე მოგახსენებთ, რომ პოდკასტის ეს ეპიზოდი ინგლისურ ენოვანია. We live in a dynamic, ever-changing world disrupted by technology. To survive and prosper in such a world, individuals and companies must embrace technological development. It's all around us. It makes our lives easier and gives us comfort. This trend is established too. Traditional financial institutions are transforming into technological ecosystems, while technology companies are offering financial services. The era we're living in is that of fintech technologies. Today, we will dive into the brave and exciting new world of fintech. Our guests are the Senior Director and the Head of Partnerships, Fintech and Ventures at Visa for the CISSEE region, Mr. Yevgeni Lisnyak, and co-founder of the prominent Georgian fintech startup Payze, Mr. Kakha Gelashvili. Greetings, gentlemen.
Hello.
Hi, Georgi.
Hi, Georgi. Thank you very much for the invitation.
Of course, it's a pleasure. Mr. Yevgeni, let's start with the great reshuffle. Since the beginning of the pandemic, companies and their employees had to rethink what they do, where they do it, and how they do it. Fundamentally, companies and quite frankly, individuals too had to reorganize their lives, reconsider their values, and change their behaviors. Regulators too had to take radical steps. So let me ask you, how did the great reshuffle affect the fintech industry?
Thanks for the question. Yeah. Okay, so, let's start from this, perception of great reshuffle and what exactly happened. Yes, what we see, what's happened. We see that, first of all, according to numerous investigations, what we see, 2/3 approximately, yes, of leaders are confident that hybrid, flexible, and remote working will usher in a more diverse workforce. And over the half are optimistic that this flexibility will be good for both people and business. So actually, we see absolutely different behavior from people. And obviously, it leads to absolutely different requests from people to any type of services, including financial ones. And a recent Salesforce survey, State of the Connected Customer, it calls, reports that only 27% of customers feel that the financial services industry is actually customer-centric. And only 23% think that the industry handled the pandemic well. So what does it mean? It means that users are shifting from actually their perception of financial services. Yes, we live in a different way. And not only users, but also business. And if according to this again survey of Salesforce in 2019, people and business priorities were like improving customer experience. In 2020, we see that implementing new technology is a high priority, and while improving customer experience shifted to the 5th place. So we see a lot of challenges, yes. And the first challenge, what I can say that this is customer safety and well-being. So we live in a different world, and we definitely would like to see absolutely more attention to this. So the second is, it's like significant economic pressures we faced with it, as well as economic security and recovery. This, while I'm talking about the general things, it leads and brings us changes in consumer behavior and SME digitalization, first of all. So a lot of countries, and I believe including in Georgia, make a bet on SME as a key driver of economy. As well as at Visa, we believe that SMEs deserves deserve now much more attention than we paid, than a lot of institutions paid them before. So first of all, SME digitalization. Yeah. The second is reopening of economies stimulates the recovery. And the second is growth of e-commerce. Given an example of Payze, actually, who are part of one of our initiatives. I will say a bit later about this. So what is Visa point of view about fintech companies? We see, yes, and I have mentioned it in the first question, that technology now is one of the most highly demanded, and everybody focuses on it in terms of embedding it to new products. And we see that world actually indeed becomes more technologically integrated. And we believe that fintechs, they play a pivotal role in this recovery and this restructuring of the global economy. And Visa strategy about fintechs is pretty simple from one side, but very complex from another. So we have three directions: investment, partnership, and engagement. So we continuously invest in companies that have some potential, yes, to develop new products. We are scouting, we are looking for these companies and enter in equity pretty often. You heard a lot of news about this, about such events. The second, if we are talking about partnerships, how do we partner? So we have we have several tools, not a lot of, but several tools. First of all is a Visa Everywhere initiative. The second is Visa Fast Track program. So let's focus on Visa Everywhere initiative. And actually Payze, we are proud to have this company as a winner of CISSEE final 2021 of Visa Everywhere initiative. This is a global program of Visa that's aimed exactly to identify the most prospective and promising startups who are focusedly solve and problems of important for us spheres like SMEs, like payments, like sometimes even in those markets where it's allowed cryptocurrencies, so on so far. The second is for more mature companies like mobile number operators, for instance, or big merchants or investment funds or whoever. This is our Visa Fast Track program. We are continuously engaged with companies who are willing to enrich their products, their customer experience with a new type of services, first of all, financial services for their customers. For instance, in Uzbekistan, Kakha mentioned it, this country, we have a strong partnership with a mobile operator who is working not only as mobile operator, but financial services provider as well as marketplace. And we have built and embed financial services to mobile number operator actually in ecosystem, and we see pretty high demand from the audience. The same story with Kazakhstan, with Beeline Kazakhstan. We have absolutely successful product of bank card that is embedded into daily life of mobile number operator users. So what else? We are partnering with post operators, and we have launched with a tap-to-phone solution first in Kazakhstan and in Central Asia with the Kaspost, state post operator. Now Kazakhstan is one of the leading countries in the world in terms of adoption, exactly tap-to-phone solution. So we see that starting from non-traditional player We showed an example to traditional ones, and it's great to see this.
So Kakha, with the help of Visa and in general also, as Mr. Yevgeni mentioned, the fintech community in Georgia is pretty well adapted to technological change. So where does Payze stand within the Georgian fintech community?
Okay, so first of all, we were really honored to be part of and winners of Visa Everywhere initiative in CEMEA region. It showed us what benefits Visa brings to its fintech partners, to small companies like us. It opened many doors in direction of product development and also market access during our journey of expansion in new countries. Georgia was well concentrated market in direction of payment services, but Visa's program, like its sub-acquirer agreements, which gives us ability to be a payment facilitators for the acquirers who are present in our market. It gives us ability to operate under Visa trademark and Visa product and receive online payments for our merchants. Also, Visa helped us during our expansion process in Uzbekistan. How it was when you are in payments business, there are many sides with whom you need to communicate, and the most important part is communication with acquirer banks. Those banks are directly connected to Visa as a principal members, and we as a payment service providers need this partnership with these banks, and Visa was kind enough to introduce us to these banks in this new country where we didn't know anybody, and they opened doors to this bank. So this was the biggest benefit for us to be part of Visa Everywhere initiative. And also there are other great products like fraud monitoring and direct integration to the banks, and which we are now starting to utilize more and more. And there are other products we want to explore which are accessible through Visa to us as payment service providers.
Yevgeni, what direction is the fintech industry heading? What does the future hold for both institutional players and regular customers? And more generally, what are the financial technologies of the future?
It's very hard to foresee future, but what can I say? It's a key trends, yes, some of key trends. First of all, what I would like to mention is, and we spoke about this, it's a seamless, we would like to have as seamless services, financial services also as possible, as safety as possible. We see high potential of tokenization of our Visa token service to enrich this industry exactly the absolutely reliable and safety methods to pay for anything, anywhere. And the second is, of course, it's rising wave. It's even less, it's already not rising. It becomes more and more common. It's pay now, buy now, pay later. BNPL technologies and installments, so on and so forth. So we are about to step in an absolutely new technological era of AI, let's say so.
Kakha, what are the major challenges that the fintech companies are experiencing at the beginning of their journeys? And what are the challenges of the future that you can foresee today, if any, of course?
Of course, great question. Well, as a financial technology company, one of the most prominent problem which persists is the navigation through regulatory landscape. You have to be very careful. So navigation through regulatory landscape and fraud monitoring are the two most largest and most common problems which are every payment service provider, every fintech company is challenged with. So the opportunity to tackle this problem first is the international practices which can be copied in our region. Like we see how Stripe in Western world operates. We know how Europe is conquered by ADN. So those companies created very good cases of financial technological use and development. So what we are doing now is watching them, learning from them, and copying all those models to our region. Well, one of the spheres where we need to be strong is no-code products, because no code is getting more and more popular. We were part of Y Combinator this summer batch, and many companies there were no code products, which gave normal people without knowledge of technological science and programming to have access to create their own marketplaces, create their own software, even mobile applications, even without software architects' help. So this is the field which we want to be very strong, giving the market here in post-Soviet countries the access to the products like there are in Western world, like this buy now, pay later model, which was developed by Klarna Afterpay in the Western world, and also Square model, where mobile phones can be used as a payment POS, point of sale terminals. So this is the main challenges which we are facing, and which we will overcome, of course, because we are learning very fast and we have examples to where to watch and where to go.
Yevgeni, do you see fintech companies as the entities competing with traditional banks, or rather complementary to them? And what do you think about the symbiosis of the two?
You know, Georgi, I actually even promote this motto, like lead but not compete, when I talking to traditional banks. I believe that openness and open technologies, it is the way to win-win for everybody, for customers, for business, for economy at all. That's why I believe that it is the way for symbiosis. It is the way for partnership. It is it's the way for openness. I believe that this is type of future, and Visa actually we stay and we stand exactly on this position. We have our Visa developer platform where we have a lot of APIs that we actually provide to the world, and we allow a lot of fintechs to enrich their products using our technologies. And this is a win-win for everybody, I believe.
Kakha, what are the expectations of individual and institutional customers in Georgia? How willing are they to accept technological products in general, and how ready is the country's legal and infrastructural ecosystem?
So first of all, Payze was started because companies, new kind of companies, 2- and 3-sided marketplace, large players in online shopping, where they had need of new payment systems. They need the flexibility which payment service provider can give them, which fintech can provide. So that's why in the beginning we did a primary research of all the needs which this market had, and developed our APIs and our products using them. The regulatory landscape is very flexible also. Here in Georgia, we have National Bank who regulates us, and they gave us opportunity to operate with all the flexibility and all licenses which we needed for e-money issuing, being a payment service provider, integrating with the bank, and the market here is also moving to open banking, and open banking will be the major new key component in payment systems, because that's when payment service providers, fintech, will be most necessary. Because when you have all those banks here with open banking APIs available, you need a neutral player who can coordinate all those APIs and give access to online payments through these new APIs to its clients. So this is where our market goes. And we are every day we are working on new products to develop new things for the market, and each new product is received very well by the audience and by our merchants. They're starting to use it as they love it, and we are listening to their comments and how can we move forward, what they need us to change. And it's like we see a synergy between our merchants and us. We see a synergy between ourselves and the banks. So, and we see the most synergy out of from us and Visa in Georgia and in the region. In the region also, we hope to do the same thing.
ეს იყო Visa-ს და Forbes Georgia-ს ერთობლივი პოდკასტი. ჩვენი სტუმრები იყვნენ Visa-ს უფროსი დირექტორი და პარტნიორობის Fintech-ისა და წამოწყებების უფროსი DST-ს და აღმოსავლეთ ევროპის ქვეყნებში Yevgeni Lisnyak და წამყვანი ქართული Fintech სტარტაპის Payze-ის თანადამფუძნებელი Kakha Gelashvili.